All right, one of the hands down dumbest things I've heard since the Parkland shooting is the words full semi-automatic muttered out of an idiot's mouth.
Like soldiers. If you're a gun collector or a gun aficionado and you want an AR-15, you can certainly buy one, and you should be able to buy one. The problem is when it gets in the hands of the wrong people.
Originally built for the battlefield, a defining characteristic of the AR-15 is the speed and power of the bullet.
Now those are single shots. If I wanted to fire this on full semi-automatic, all I do is keep firing. Now
for you potato heads out there that don't understand what semi-automatic is, I've heard it on the radio. I was listening to the radio the other day and they were talking about somebody, they were talking about school shootings, and this lady called in and said, what is somebody supposed to do when somebody's got a semi-automatic gun? The bulk of all modern civilian weapons are semi-automatic. And like I said, for you potato heads that don't understand what that means you pull the trigger, the gun cycles, and you pull the trigger again. That's what semi-automatic means. This is semi-automatic. That is semi-automatic. This is also semi-automatic. This is also semi-automatic. I know, it's a big scary AR-15. So when you say words like, what about somebody with a semi-automatic gun? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because not only is this semi-automatic, but this is also semi-automatic. And this is also semi-automatic. So you understand that when you say full semi-automatic, somebody's gone full semi-automatic. It is quite possibly the dumbest words ever muttered when it comes to describing the action of a gun. But AR-15s are military style, military grade weapons. Well, number one, they're not military grade weapons. That absolutely not military grade weapons. Military grade rifles like the M4 and M16 are not as garbage as your civilian AR-15. And yes, I mean that in every sense of the word. They usually have heavier barrels, they got better trigger groups, the optics on them, the things that they have on them are normally more expensive. There's just a number of things that separates the M4 from the AR-15, the civilian AR-15. And then of course there's military style. Military style meaning it looks like a military weapon, and no civilian needs that military weapon. Well, does that mean that if I put a doctor's lab coat on, that means I'm all of a sudden a doctor? No, of course it doesn't. That's dumb. That's just stupid. Almost as stupid as calling this a military style rifle, and that's why you want to ban it. You're a dumbass. So when you say things like this, know that the rest of the country who knows better looks at you and they laugh because you're pathetic. And you don't know anything about what you want to ban. You haven't the first clue about what you want to ban. You don't have the first clue about what you want to regulate. You can find video after video out there on YouTube of drooling potato heads sitting at anti-gun marches being asked simple questions. Do you know what an AR-15 looks like? No. Do you know what semi-automatic means? No. What's an assault weapon? Ah, you're a racist. You know, that's their eventual response. So as the rest of the world knows, it's not the AR-15 that you want to ban. It's obviously not semi-automatic that you're worried about. It's all guns in general. You gun grabbers want to take everybody's weapon. That's what you want. Apparently, when you read the Bill of Rights and you get up to states' rights, you recognize as the First Amendment and the Third Amendment and the Fourth and Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, and Ninth, you recognize all these rights as individual rights. But apparently, the right of a person to keep and bear arms all of a sudden doesn't become an individual right. And you are also clueless to what shall not be infringed means.